My name is Regina Glenn. I know many of you in the room, and we're so glad you're here today to talk about our mega programs and the CWA on SR 520. For introductions, as not only the facilitator but the diversity and inclusion manager for SR 520, it's a pleasure to work with our team, which is really demonstrating how we work together on all the CWA efforts that we'll do. This team represents all the components, and that would include our project. WSDOT Mega Program Overview will be presented by our construction manager, Dave Becker, and then Dave will give us the overview, gives us information about the CWA overview, and then we'll go straight to our contractor, Graham, and Mike Salmon and Suzanne Arkle will make presentations for us. And then the Seattle Building Trades will get information from our representative, Lisa Bogardas. And then our administrator will have presentations from Daniel and the Intelligent Partnership, what we're doing, and how we are here to help all the contractors. Today's meeting is for those who had not been able to see us at some of the other presentations. And when you look inside that handout, you'll see that we've made 3 already, and we have this one and one more with women in construction. So this is a great time to be here because we've had the experience of hearing questions from other sessions and look forward to what you wish to share with us. And then we'll have Q&A at the end. And with that, I'd like to introduce our own, again, Dave Becker.
So we wanted to start with talk about the mega programs. So a lot of you are from the central Seattle area, central Puget Sound area, and because of the large scale of the projects we have going, WSDOT has kind of created a mega programs office, and we actually have a deputy assistant secretary, Julie Meredith. Probably some of you probably remember she actually was the administrator for the 520 program. So she actually reports directly to the chief engineer for the state of Washington for the Department of Transportation, Kevin Dayton. So that kind of gives you an idea of the importance of the mega programs. And they're broken into 4 programs. The Alaskan Way Viaduct, we're all aware of that. It's right around the corner here. If we listen closely, we can probably hear the demolition. The 405 corridor, which is probably the oldest of the corridors in terms of just the delivery. It's kind of under the radar because they actually do such a good job, they just deliver everything. Then we have the newest one, the Puget Sound Gateway Program, which is 509 and 167, and then of course the 520 program. So the Alaskan Way Viaduct program, I think all of us are aware we opened the tunnel earlier this year. Very excited about that, but there's still a lot of actually work to be completed. They're actually doing the demolition work right now along the waterfront. That's going to completely transform, the kind of the gateway into Seattle from the west. We're very excited about getting that old structure out of there. Also, as part of that, they're going to do the Battery Street Tunnel decommissioning, and then there's some surface street connections that are also going to be made at the north and south end of the project. So there is still work underway. There's still opportunities on that program as well. 405 corridor is along 405 on the east side. They've completed about $1.5 billion worth of work. They have about, I think, $1.3 billion of additional work coming up that's fully funded. They have some really big projects coming up. That Renton to Bellevue widening and express toll lanes projects is a design build project. I think it's right now about $650 million. So it's one of the biggest design build projects that WSDOT will have done. We're very interested and eager about that. It has been shortlisted to 3 teams. If I recall, I'm looking at Bobby because I might forget these teams. One team is Flatiron, Kiewit, and Graham, I think, are the 3 teams. Great. And we expect the proposals to be delivered later this year, and then construction to start probably next year. But it's a very big job, very diverse in terms of the type of work that's going to be completed, so there's going to be a lot of opportunities on that project. Right now they have the 405, 167 direct connector project still underway, and then they have upcoming another design build job at Northeast 132nd. So a lot of work planned for 405, over $1 billion upcoming work. The newest mega program that we have is the Puget Sound Gateway Program, which again is 167 and 509. It's a very important program for us for the freight mobility to connect the Port of Seattle, Port of Tacoma to our interstate systems. It's been envisioned for quite some time, but now it's fully funded. Projects are going to start popping out here pretty quickly. We have a design build project that's actually going to be, I think it's actually in the procurement process right now, and will actually be awarded later this year, with well over $1 billion of other work coming up in the near future. So this is a program that has a lot of legs to it. We're very interested in its delivery because it has a huge impact to our economic vitality in the area. Then we have the program that I work on, the 520 replacement project. Right now we have a number of projects underway. We have the Montlake project. We'll talk a little bit about that in greater detail. That's with Graham Construction. It is a design build job, $450 million. We do have a couple of other projects that will be coming up shortly. We have one of a more traditional design bid build projects, the I-5-520 Express Lanes Connection project. That will be going out to bid probably in the first quarter of next year, and it's probably in the $50 to $80 million range. And then we have one more design build project, the Portage Bay Bridge replacement that will occur after the Montlake project is completed. So you're looking in the 2022, 2023 timeframe. You're probably looking at about $650 to $700 million on that design build project. So another really large one. And then finally, the last project we'll probably build on the program is a second vascular bridge across the cut there by the University of Washington. So a little bit more about the Montlake Phase project. It has a lot of unique features that are very desirable to the city of Seattle as well as the community. If you look at this really closely here, you can see we're going to build a new pedestrian land bridge across 520, reconnecting north and south bicycle and pedestrian routes. No motorized traffic on that land bridge. We'll also reconstruct 24th Avenue, Montlake Boulevard, and actually build a new lid across 520, reconnecting the community. And also taking that kind of horrible bus transit facility that's right now on 520 that is really loud and not the greatest location. We're going to put it up on top of the lid so that you'll have this direct connection with direct access ramps coming from 520 up on top of the lid. We'll also replace the last of the old approach structures, the approach structure that runs out eastbound to the new floating bridge. That's a relic of the 1960s. That'll be completely removed and replaced with a new structure that'll be very similar to the westbound lanes, the elevated higher approach structure. So we're very excited about this project. We're well underway with the design. We expect construction to start this June in earnest with a completion date of roughly 2023. So we also want to talk about the community workforce agreement. So WSDOT is a little late to the party with regards to community workforce agreements. If you look at the Puget Sound area, if you go to Sound Transit, the Port of Seattle, City of Seattle, King County, a number of the other big employers around here, they all use either a project labor agreement or community workforce agreement. So WSDOT has actually included that in the Montlake project. It's the first time that we've done this. So we're very interested in seeing how it works as a kind of a test or pilot project on the Montlake Phase project. So we'll look at this as an opportunity to learn from working with the building trades. We have a community workforce agreement administrator, learning lessons from this project so that we can apply those to future projects. It's possible that we'll do this on some of the other projects on 405 or the Gateway program or on 520 as they roll out. But this is a good opportunity for WSDOT to kind of catch up with the rest of the public agencies in the Seattle area, in particular with the amount of work that's underway. If you look at Sound Transit with billions of dollars of construction, WSDOT has billions of dollars of construction, the City of Seattle, the Port, Microsoft, obviously Amazon, just all the work that's underway. It's super critical for us at WSDOT to make sure that we have a steady supply of labor, skilled labor coming into our projects, and no impacts with regards to work actions. So one of the key factors of the Community Workforce Agreement is the apprenticeship program that we have in it. Normally on our WSDOT projects, we have about 15% apprenticeship. On this project, because of the Community Workforce Agreement, we have a 20% requirement. So we're very interested and eager to see the opportunities that we have to bring more new laborers into the market in all these skilled positions. It's really important for WSDOT as an owner that we have good competition, that we have a lot of skilled workforce that can do the work. So we're really eager to see how the community workforce agreement will work on this project. We see it as a great opportunity to continue our relationship with the trades as well as the contracting community. So we see it as a great opportunity for us.
I'm Mike Salmon. I'm the Deputy Project Manager for the Graham team on the SR 520 project. I brought with me today Suzanne Arkle, our Inclusion Manager, and Darling Nava sitting in the back, also with Zahn and Associates. In the picture is Greg Ritke in the top left. He's our project manager for the team. Bottom right is Dan Rayner. He is the construction manager. And Merrick Bignarczyk is also Deputy Project Manager for the team. Our operations team went through that estimating team. Many of you have already possibly talked to our estimating staff in our Bellevue office. If not, some of you I think are poised to go to our office to meet with them to talk about other opportunities. So if you're looking for work, Eric Van Hemert, Madeline Kenzie, and Dan Haringa are in our Bellevue office, and they can assist you with any upcoming projects where we're looking for support. American Bridge is one of our primary partners in this project. They're building the South Approach Bridge. That is the main portion of the bridge that's over the water. And as part of their participation, we have Dan Rayner acting as our construction manager. Zahn and Associates is our inclusion manager, and T.Y. Lin is the engineer of record. Who we are. Graham is a North American contractor. I joined Graham about 9 years ago. Graham has been in business for 91 years. Our corporate structure includes infrastructure, commercial, industrial, and some energy. In the United States, we're primarily buildings and infrastructure. We do have a large presence in the Seattle area with our buildings group as well as on the East Coast. We have a couple other offices in the United States. We have one in Colorado, one in Omaha, and one in Minneapolis. Our infrastructure office is located in Bellevue, Washington. Annually, Graham itself completes approximately $3 to $4 billion worth of work a year. We continue to expand and grow. The Seattle market is just getting going. As we're hearing now, the mega projects are coming out, and we anticipate that our revenues will grow. I'd like to bring Suzanne up to chat briefly about our support for small businesses.
Thank you, Mike. As Mike mentioned, I'm with Zahn, a consultant to Graham, and I'm very honored to have had a relationship with them for almost 6 years now, working in the diversity and inclusion space as it relates to infrastructure projects. But for this project, for the SR 520 bridge replacement, we are very, very committed to not only working with you to make sure that you gain access to opportunities, but really helping you to build your capacity and making sure that the opportunities, that you're connected to the opportunities that align with your scope. So what does that mean? We have a little toolbox right here. And at the end here, I want to just point to that one. We want to build capacity for your success. You know, as it's been mentioned, there are a number of projects here in this community. And if you work on one, we want you to continue, if it's not with us, with other contractors, because we can't do all the work. We want to do a lot of it, but we can't do it all. We want you to build that capacity. And as a result, some of the things that we will do is in the procurement strategy, one of our tactics is to break down the bid packages that will be small enough for small businesses and MSV WBEs to actually bid on. We don't want to have everything at a $10 million level because, one, from a contract administration perspective, it works really well, but from participation for you and your constituents, it does not. Something else, we want to help you to understand the process. One of the things in my over 20 years of experience in this space is the information that you need in order to get the work. If you're competent, if you understand, and you have the qualifications, you generally will get the work, but you need to understand the process. Every contractor does some things the same, but many do things according to how they do the work. We want you to understand our procurement process and then how we work in conjunction with WSDOT to make sure this happens. We want to provide you timely information. You got to have the information very quickly. It's early and often for us. So in conjunction with Regina and Bobby, we're going to be getting information out to you in a way such that you will have it soon enough to be able to bid. We're going to release our documents on SmartBidNet. I always ask, there are two questions I ask. How many in the room are MSVWBEs? Okay, so how many of you know what SmartBid is or have used it? Okay, so in this room, that's pretty good because it's about 100%. In some of the other rooms, it has not been. But it's a bid document management system, so I don't have to tell you what it is. But we want to make sure that documents are going out consistently and people are getting the information, so we use that. And we are tracking if you open the bid document. We want to be transparent with our communication. Darling, please wave your hand. Darling is here ready to, she's our conduit to make sure that you can get to whomever it is that you need to get to with regard to information. We want to eliminate barriers to participation. And lastly, as I said, build capacity for your success. But before I turn it back to Mike to talk about the opportunities, let me keep this. We talked about, I know, you know, that's just what I do. No, and it's on tape too. One of the things that we talked about this morning in one of our meetings was prompt pay. It is so important to the success of a small business, and I see you shaking your head, for you to be paid promptly. So what we're working on is a strategy. We don't have it fleshed out totally, and it may not be perfect, but I will guarantee you that we're going to put something in place that's going to support the effort of you getting paid promptly. So with that, Mike is going to talk about the opportunities, and thank you.
All right, just so you understand, we're currently in the design process. We started really at notice to proceed in January, and we're a few months in. So for a large part, we're working on design at this time. We have enlisted some subcontractors, and those are early subcontractors that we've brought in specifically to help us along the path. We brought in small janitorial services. We're looking for small landscaping services. We're looking for some of those support activities that we can bring in to help us. Not the large ones, but some of the smaller ones. We have many opportunities on this project. These are some of the items that have been broken down significantly, and there is a lot of opportunity out here. But it's, of course, finding your capacity, plugging you into the right position, and making sure you succeed, because the last thing we need on this project is somebody that's not succeeding, because it hurts us and it hurts you. Many of them coming up right now, like I mentioned, some of the office support, landscaping, small maintenance companies, and small grading companies. Those are some of the early work activities. I was talking to Mr. Bellardi, potentially some curb, flat work opportunities early as well.
Hi, as some of you already know, I see a lot of familiar faces. I'm Lisa Bogardus with the Seattle Building and Construction Trades Labor Council. And as the slide says, the Labor Council represents 19 affiliated unions and over 15,000 members in Seattle and King County. And I actually think that number is a little outdated. I think it's actually closer to 21,000. We are really busting at the seams in our apprenticeship programs and getting folks to journey out to cover all the work that Dave spoke about earlier and all across the region. We partner with 5 public agencies on current projects covered by project labor agreements and CWAs, as Dave mentioned. WSDOT is better late than never coming to the party and using a CWA on this first project, and we're really excited about that. Other agencies that we work with, Sound Transit, King County, who's in the room today, City of Seattle, and others. The building trades, both locally and nationally, focus on inclusion efforts and diversity in the trades, trying to attract, as the construction boom continues here, not only here but nationally. We need to attract more and more folks and diverse folks into the trades, so women, people of color, and also veterans. The trades are a great opportunity for folks coming out of the service and re-entering into work back here in the States. They have so many skills that they can put right to work, get into apprenticeships, and get out to work on these great public projects. We support pre-apprenticeship programs. These include that veterans can get into, plus people who have historically not done construction work. It gets them ready to get into an apprenticeship program. A new PACE, DLC is the laborer's direct entry onto construction projects, and then helmets to hard hats and others. A few things that aren't on the slide that I want to highlight is, as you can imagine, right now there's millions of man hours being performed under PLAs and CWAs. regionally. And learning how to work in this environment as a small contractor is really important. And we want you to be successful. We want to partner with our public agencies and also our private sector partners to ensure that all contractors can be successful. And we want to partner with you where we can and assist with understanding the PLA all the way through pre-job to dispatch to any other issues that you have. And I encourage, I'm looking over here because I think this is where the contractors raise their hands. I would encourage you to reach out to me at the Building Trades and to the rep from whatever union that you're working with and foster that relationship, because that will it will be very, very helpful moving forward and ensuring success if you can work with them and be a partner. Potential benefit that working under CWA especially for a smaller firm, is access to manpower. So this is you can bid and then call from the union hall to get trained folks out to help complete your scope of work on the project. So that can be very helpful. And one thing that a lot of folks don't realize is that a lot of our members go on to start their own small businesses, and then some turn into big businesses. But it's kind of the circle of life of the construction industry, is that folks get trained through a registered apprenticeship program, go to work on on projects for years, and then eventually go out and start their own small businesses. And so we all have a vested interest in ensuring that we're all successful together and that we keep feeding the industry and ensuring that we can build the region. Another note I just want to make is the benefit of the apprenticeship opportunities, that you can call apprentices, you can help be part of the training on your projects, and also creating diversity in the industry by supporting the pre-apprenticeship programs. And again, that's women, veterans, folks who are economically disadvantaged. As an illustration, I just want to pull out one data point. ANEW, which is one of the pre-apprenticeship programs that the Building Trades supports and that is recognized in this agreement. Their 2018 numbers, folks who graduated from that program and went into apprenticeship programs, 55% were people of color, 41% were low income, and 36% of the folks who graduated from ANEW were previously incarcerated. So these are people who, through a career in the trades, they will have access to health care, they will have access to a retirement, they will have a way to put food on the table for their family and pay for housing. And these are people, especially the formerly incarcerated, who in the past have really not had those options. So these are great programs, and we're proud that we can support them and support all these folks in our community and support WSDOT.
So I'm Daniel Villau. I'm a principal at Intelligent Partnerships. We are your third-party administrator for the Community Workforce Agreement. It's our privilege to serve with these partners that are seated with us here and with you as a contracting community to effectuate access to this work, both from the contractor perspective, but also more importantly, as Lisa was pointing to, from the worker perspective. You should know I was with a bunch of global companies yesterday in Arkansas, speaking to leaders that are looking at our model here in Seattle and the work that has been done in the construction sector as a national footprint for how to create job access and workforce access. So Dave touched a little on WSDOT being late to the dance. Actually, your timing is pretty perfect, because we've proven out that when we engage together collaboratively and really purposefully create opportunities for the small contracting community and by default for the workers that participate with them, we really begin to create an ecosystem that elevates the work pool in the region for every contractor that's available. And so through your utilization and your participation of the CWA processes, you're going to learn that not only do you have access to a broad pool of workers, but you're actually generating family transforming careers. And you're doing it in a way that's not disruptive to your business model. And that's really the message that you should take from my comments, is that our teams, Madison Owens, who happens to be on vacation right now, but she's your CWA administrator. She will be your point of contact for this project. Their purpose is to ensure that this process is not disruptive to your business model, that you are able to take your leadership team, put them in place, effectuate the work in a way that's most meaningful for you to deliver the outcome that WSDOT is paying for and that Graham is expecting from your contract. but allows you to participate in all of the processes as smoothly and as effectively as possible. And so our teams are here to help educate you. You will participate in pre-job processes. Our teams will walk hand in hand with you as you engage with labor leaders that Lisa pointed out to ensure that everybody's clearly communicating what occupations are going to be on the site when you're there, what apprenticeship opportunities you're going to be creating or have an opportunity to create, and what reporting criteria you're responsible for. Our teams will also help you navigate the software mechanisms to ensure that the reporting is being captured accurately, that you're getting credit for all of the man hours, workforce hours. Sorry, ladies. The knuckle dragging construction workers in the room won't get that one, but I apologize, ladies, in advance for that. We're learning the best that we can. But to ensure that you'll get all the credit for the work that you're producing in a way that's meaningful. And so we're available to you. We will help you navigate the landscape that is the labor management partnership. These agreements are designed, again, to not be disruptive, to actually help empower you to navigate rapidly through these systems and to ensure that you're getting to the end game, which is delivering the outcome and getting paid for your work and moving to the next project.
Both Bobby Forch and I joined this team to give you any support we can. As the WSDOT Mega Program and SR 520 Diversity Inclusion Manager for the mega projects, I just provide resources that we've gained and learned from the SR 520. And that's basically an outreach. Make sure we go to those meetings, make sure that we give any information to the team members, especially Graham, as they're looking for these contractors, tell them everything we can about you. And of course, we can say as much as you tell us. And again, Darlene Nava, who we like to say in the trenches with us, she works in the community, knows that. But those of you who are here, as much as you can tell us, as often as you can keep in touch with us, especially the Graham team, it's important. So we're here to do that. What helps with being involved, I've been involved with this program, SR 520, since 2013. And so you begin to learn some of the internal procedures, you see some of the informational points that are helpful to subcontractors, we share that. And with that, I'll ask Bobby to share some of the things that he'll bring to the program, unique about making sure we're in compliance, and know from his experience as our representative from the Office of Equal Opportunity also.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Bobby Forch. I am the strategic advisor for compliance and inclusion for mega programs. I work on all the mega projects, all the projects that were outlined by Dave earlier. Started out as the DBE Disadvantaged Business Program Administrator for the Tunnel Project, and have taken some of the best practices that we've learned there, along with what we've learned on 520 and working together with Regina, are going to be working specifically on this 520 program to support both the CWA and our compliance associated with the project. A little bit about myself. I actually was part of a team that helped to negotiate the first City of Seattle CWA, and also worked with WSDOT to develop and negotiate the CWA for this particular project. So I will be working as a support to both Regina, Julia Mitsuharu's not with us, some of the other folks who are working on 520, interacting, doing what we call business partnering, and ensuring that we are in compliance both with the state and with the program, with the contract as it relates to inclusion. And so I'll turn it back to Regina.
Thank you. So now, it's your time. Questions of our audience?
Sometime in 2023 is what we're looking at for the Montlake project. I think we have about it's about 10 years. 10 years or so.
With that, we have one more chance for questions, comments, observations. What particularly we looked for in these handouts we gave you is on every sheet of paper should be a name, an email, and a phone number. If you have any problem getting a hold of them, either Bobby and I will round them up for you. With that, I believe we're on. Any final comments? Thank you so much.